Let's talk about coordinate planes. So these are just the basics. I know we've talked about these before, but I'm just going to give you a review. So coordinate planes are just two number lines put together, right? We have a vertical number line and a vertical number line and a horizontal number line that are just put together. So the coordinate plane has 4 quadrants, and I want you to use the following words from the word bank to label the parts of the coordinate plane. Now, if you think you can do this on your own, go ahead and pause the video and try it. I want to encourage you to do that, and then you can unpause and follow along with me to check your work. But if you really, truly do not know, then go ahead and do it with me right now. So you make your choice of whether you're going to try it on your own first and by pausing, or try it with me. All right, if you're following along, let's do it. If you're checking, see what we've got. So we're going to start with our X and Y axis. So remember, X comes first. It's our horizontal number line, and so we've got the x-axis is this number line right here, this part, and that's the part that we always start with. That's the first number in our ordered pair, which we'll talk about in the next video. And then the vertical line is the y-axis. Okay, so vertical, so we always do the x, then the y, so horizontal, then vertical. Okay, the origin is right where those two number lines meet at 0, 0. Okay, and then let's get to these quadrants. So quad means 4, right? So there's 4 different sections when you put these two number lines together. So quadrant 1 starts in the top right here. And you can label it as Q1 if you want, but I wanted you to know what the word meant. So quadrant 1, okay? And another thing I wanted you to add, even though I know it's not one of the words you have to label, I want you to be aware that in quadrant 1, when you're thinking of your ordered pair, the coordinate you're going to plot, the x is going to be positive because we always start from the origin. That's how we plot points. And so in order to end up in quadrant 1, you are going to have to go to the right. So that means a positive x because this is the x-axis. And then a positive y to end up in this quadrant. So that's why we have a second positive. So it would be a positive, positive for the coordinate. Okay. The next one is quadrant 2, and we actually go this direction. I'll give you a trick to help remember that here in a second. So quadrant 2 is going to be over here. Now to end up in this quadrant, you're going to have to now have a negative x. So the first number needs to be negative to go to the left, but you're still going to have a positive y to go up, and that will land you in quadrant 2 somewhere. Okay, quadrant 3 goes right down here. And to get into quadrant 3, we move to the left and down. So that means we're going to have a negative x and a negative y. And then last one over here is quadrant 4. And to get in quadrant 4, we have a positive x, negative y. So the opposite of quadrant 2. Okay, a way I can remember for how to label which quadrant is which, I always think of can I get it to show up? One moment. There we go. Sorry about that. We start in the top right, and if we make a C, that's the order they go in, and I always remember C for coordinate plane, right? For a C for coordinate plane. So we quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4 makes that C. Okay? If you did that on your own, great, good for you. I hope that you were able to label them correctly. If you had to do it with us, that's all right too. No big deal. I hope you know them now as you move on to that next video, giving you a couple more coordinate plane basics.